Hey there and welcome. So, just checking for the last few to come in. I can still see people are checking in now. So I just want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear. If you can, just type into the box, say hello, let me know you can hear me. Awesome stuff. Got a full house today, which is outstanding. Right, a little bit of housekeeping. The session should last approximately 60 minutes. On this session, I'm going to be using my laptop. I'm going to be using my iPad. Also going to be going into some case studies and really opening the doors and really showing what goes on underneath in successful campaigns to get grade A clients. So today we're focusing on how to sign grade A clients using Maven webinars. Now I can see pretty much everyone has checked in. We are capped off with the full house, so I'm going to start. So welcome to today's call. Today's call is on how to sign grade A clients using Maven webinars. Now, you're here because you need clients. Now let me ask you a question. If you said to me, Andy, I need clients, I'm going to say to you, what exactly do you need? You can say, well, I need, you might say I need a better way to get in front of clients. I might need to be able to scale my business by making more calls. I may need a way to get more leads in. Here's the thing. What I'm going to show you today will be something that you would have never seen before. Why? Because we're the first people to bring this into recruitment. We're the first company to bring this into recruitment, and that's why it works so well. So going back to Henry Ford, if I'd asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So I'm asking you now to drop the mask. I'm asking you to drop your preconceptions about how you get clients. I'm asking you to move away from what you've been taught. I'm asking you to now embrace what's actually available. But you don't know what you don't know because you've not been shown. So for the next 60 minutes, drop the mask. So your question is, Andy, how do I get grade A clients coming to me? So coming to you so you're not chasing them. And that's what we want to focus on. Two key elements: grade A clients, not just any client. Clients who are ready to buy, they've got budget, and clients who know, like, and trust you. So you're not selling. And next, they come to you. It's inbound. How do we make that happen? Well, the system I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the steps, has launched a 6-7 figure business in 90 days. It's made one recruitment company go from $8,000 a month to 6 figures in less than half a year. It's made one business go from 1 person to 5 people in 4 or 5 months. On average though, if you apply this, my goal for everyone who moves forward with this is to double your business and to give you more freedom. And we do that by becoming an expert in the marketplace. So this system has launched a 100K a month business. That business is now moving to sell for $5 to $10 million in less than a year. How? Systems. So the key word here is systems. These are big claims. It's not here to impress you, it's to impress upon you. As Henry Ford said, at the minute you're thinking, Andy, I want a faster horse. No, you want to know what's available. So let's jump straight into my iPad and let's get straight into what we're going to focus on today. So for those of you who've been on webinars before, you know I'm huge into engagement, so I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. I want to know what your questions are, and I want you to really get involved. So this is what we're going to focus on today. I want you to shift. I want you to make some shifts from where you are now to where the really successful, savvy recruitment agencies are. And we work with agencies from 1 person up to multi-million pound. Some of our clients have got 60, 70 consultants, but around about half of them come to us as one person. They start their own new desk and they're setting up alone. So this is where we're moving from. This is where we're moving to. So the from. We're moving from you not being known. If you're not known by your clients, you're not going to get the clients. Simple as that. We want to move to you being seen as a leader, being as a trusted advisor. That's what we want to move from and to. Next, I want you to move away from getting on the call and being told, yep, we're going to come to you, we're going to use you, so you get let down. It's an awful place to be. And it kills you and it demoralizes you and it's not nice. So I want you to be seen as the one who gets the exclusive exclusive roles. And for some of you, focusing on retained business. I want you to move away from having up and down months. 1 month you've got clients, next month you're struggling. I want you to move into having predictable revenue. I want you to move away from stress. Now I know, because I speak to a lot of you, how much it impacts your life, it impacts your personal life, it impacts your family life when you've got stress at work. So we want to move into certainty. And we do that when we know exactly what we've got, hence the predictability. And I want you to move away from having 1, 2, maybe 5 clients who might use you. I want to move you into having 30 plus clients. I want you to spread that risk. I want you to spread that risk, and that's really important. If you've got a handful of clients now, we're doing okay, we're doing okay. If you've got less than 5 to 10 clients, you may as well get a glass and put it on the edge of the table and wobble it, because you're in a precarious position. You need to have multiple clients coming to you again. And we do that by being the expert. We do that by being the leader, the KPI in the marketplace. So, what we want to be looking at is really focusing on a process. So some of you might have seen what we do before, but essentially the recruiter marketing machine brings you clients and it brings you candidates. Today we're focusing on the third part of this. So the first part, the content cannon, brings inbound leads. The second part filters out those who are high class candidates, and it filters out those clients who are actually 8, 9s and 10s, those who've got budget and those who trust you. And the webinar bit is where we get authority. It's where we get a transfer of trust, and it's where we convert clients from being prospects into clients. It's where we convert also candidates from being not knowing you to please place me. But today we're focusing largely on the client piece. So getting that authority, getting one-to-many sales. So with that said, let's get into this. So I want you to really be thinking about 3 core staples, and lots of you I know have been following us now for many years. Automation is going to be a key part of what we discussed today. Inbound leads will be a key part of what we discussed today. Predictable growth will be a key part of what we discussed today. But what I'm going to show you, you've not seen before. We've got some upcoming trainings which are purely focused on automation. I'm actually going to share with you the exact tools that we use and our clients use, which means they never pick up the phone. They never have to chase clients. Today though is how to get clients using Maven webinars. So let me ask you a question. Just type in the box really quickly so I can frame the next 50-55 minutes around you. Why are you here today? What exactly are you here for? And what's the exact problem you got? So type in the box now and let me know. Why are you here today? I'm assuming it's to get clients, but what's the big problem you got with getting clients? So let's give you 30 seconds to type in the box. Let me go to my laptop. So Casey, I want to move away from chasing on the phone. Mark, if that's Mark Taylor, how are you? Awesome. Okay, I need to get away past. I think he's saying I need a way to get past gatekeepers. Greg, fed up with the phone. Perry, I'm here because I'm not able to pay the bills. Marshall, Steph, my business is not sustainable the way it's growing. Tanner, you want to dominate your niche. Awesome. You want to expand quickly and you want to take on new staff. Got that. Awesome. Trevor, you're here to get more time. Interesting. So we're here for various reasons. So it sounds like you're here for to get clients, but also to maybe automate. Is that what we're saying? We're going to focus on the client piece today. We're going to focus on showing you how to get clients using Maven webinars. So we're going to be moving really quick today. Going to be moving really quick. Now stay to the end because I'm going to give you my slides. I'm going to give you the recording. Also going to give you 2 documents, 2 awesome documents. One is a fast action plan, so you can actually go away and take a plan and apply this. The second is a report, really shows you how to get clients, how to get CVs and bring certainty into your business. And also, if you've not got it yet, I'm going to give you the Maven Webinar Workbook. I think a lot of you should have that by now, but if not, also going to give you that. So really, if you want to get the plan, you want to get the report, you want to also going to give you a free video, stay to the end, and I'll also send you the Maven Webinar Workbook also. So let me ask you a question. You're here to get clients. So type in the box now, how many clients do you have now? Just type in the box really quickly. How many clients do you have now? Okay, Mark's got 3. Oh, Trevor's got 5, but you think you've got 15 in total. Not sure what you mean by that. Maybe you're using 5, you've got 10 prospects. I'll tell you what I'll do, I won't call out your name. Just type in the box. Awesome. Okay, so how many clients do you have now? Next question, how many clients do you need? So one of the first things I always focus on is what's your outcome? Well, Andy, I want to be doing $500,000 this year. Okay, what's your average placement fee? It's $10,000. Okay, outstanding. So you need 50 placements. So we need 50 placements. Let's take out January, let's take out December. So then we then got 50 placements across 10 months. So we got then 5 placements a month. So just over 1 a week. So we need a volume strategy, but also a positioning strategy. So I want to know, how many clients do you need? It could be you're in a marketplace where you get repeat business. So first question, how many clients do you have? How many clients do you need? Now, what's the gap between the two? So if you have 5 clients and you need 15 clients, you've got a gap of 10. If you've got 2 clients and you need 20 clients, you've got a gap of 18. Now that gap is what we're going to focus on today. That gap is the number of clients you need your strategy to deliver. So let's get into this. Let's get into exactly why that is. So Mark, you've got 2, you want 20. Let me just see. Rachel, 5 want 10. Sheila, 6 want 15. Zoe, 0 want 10. 16 want 20. Let me know what business that is. 1 want 4. 2 want 20. 3 want 10. 6 want 15. Okay, so that gap is what we need to focus on. So let's get into how we actually identify what the problem is and fix this. So, why haven't you got the clients? You haven't got them because they don't trust you. They don't know you. They don't like you. They've got a supplier at the moment, but at the moment you're not their natural choice. So why is that? Why don't they know you? Why don't they trust you? Why are they trusting someone else? And that's what we need to focus on. So there is a reason why you currently, the clients, despite all the calls you make, all the emails you send out, there's a reason why you haven't got those clients. Let's dig deep on that now. So let me bring up my trusty iPad. So there's 2 reasons why you haven't got the clients you want. In fact, I'm just going to redo that. Change the pen. There are 2 reasons why you haven't got what you need. Number 1, they don't trust you. They don't trust that you can actually fulfill their requirements. They don't trust you can have a candidate and deliver a candidate that'll be on site in 2 years' time. They don't trust you. And the second reason why you're not getting what you want is clients are not committing to you. You may have a telephone call with a client. You might relate to this. You have a telephone call with a client. Yep, we'll definitely use you. And what happens? They go dead. You chase them up. They don't get back to you. Tomorrow, I'm going to make 20 calls. 2 or 3 of them are going to come through. I know they are. And it's a horrible place to be. You haven't got that commitment from the client. So why is that? Well, this is what we generally see. Last year, we trained over 12,000 recruiters. This is what we see time and time again. Most recruiters do this. First off, they make calls. They make calls to their clients. They might phone the second Thursday of the month, and they call clients sporadically. They call clients intermittently. They might even be very, very disciplined with it, but they're still calling clients, and they've just that. You're an annoyance. You're a pain in the bum. It's like someone knocking on your door selling you cleaning products. You don't want that. Next, some recruiters, they do a bit of social media. I've read somewhere if you post a blog, they will come to you and they'll see you as an expert. Has it worked? No. But is it better than nothing? Of course it is. You're going to get a little bit of trust, a little bit more commitment. Now how about if you change your model? How about if you get others endorsing you? How about if the same people that your clients looked up to, i.e. mavens, by the way, a maven is an industry expert. So say for example you work in Java development and your decision makers are Java development program managers or team leaders. They look up to world-class authors, world-class speakers in Java development. So they're called mavens. So how would it be if the mavens endorsed you? Be pretty good. Be pretty good. Now how about if you create a strategy whereby what we call launch, you do a strategy whereby every 2 to 4 weeks another maven, a world-class speaker, is endorsing you. They're endorsing you. So you can shout and scream about how wonderful you are, but the very same people your clients look up to are saying you need to listen to Andy at ABC Recruiting. He's outstanding. I'm doing a webinar with him. Now how about if you automated that process? So every 2 weeks a webinar happened with a world-class speaker who endorsed you. You had a launch, what we call a launch system, which gives you exposure. So when you do your webinar, the entire marketplace knows you're doing a webinar with this world-class speaker. And the result of that is this. You start to get inbound leads. And when you go through the process 2, 3, 4 times, you get an immense amount of inbound leads. So the analogy I use is this, and my clients from the inner circle on the call, the first time you run through it, it's like that ride at the park. You push it around when you're a kid. You push it around the cylinder ride. You push it around the first revolution, really tough. Second, it gets moving a bit easier. The third revolution, it's almost going by itself. The fourth, it's flying. That's what we're dealing with here. So then what starts to happen is you start to get the retained business. The heroes, the people your clients look up to, are endorsing you again and again and again. And what happens is this. You get the clients coming to you. You get the inbound leads. You get the inbound leads. And you don't just get a few inbound leads. You get literally hundreds of inbound leads. Big claim. I'll show you some metrics. You can run a webinar and have 300 plus prospective clients on the webinar. How many calls would it make for you to even get through to that amount of clients? How many calls do you need to make? 5,000, 10,000? You've got 300 on a webinar listening to you, and you've got a world-class speaker, a maven, endorsing you. So you've got this transference of trust, and that's where the magic happens. You get this trust, and then you start to get the client commitment. It works like gangbusters. So let me ask you a question. Where are you? Are you making calls? You're doing a little bit of social media and getting no results? Whereabouts are you? And where do you want to be? So let's focus on you getting more trust, and let's get the clients committing to you. Now what I'm doing is type in the box and let me know where you are. Let me know exactly where you are. Are you making calls? Are you making social media? How much trust have the clients got in you? How much commitment have clients shown you? If clients are going missing, it's because they don't trust you. They're not committing to you. And I guarantee you, I've never met you, but I guarantee you, if clients say they're going to work with you and they don't get back to you, I guarantee you, you make calls and you do a little bit of social media. I guarantee you that's what you do. If I'm wrong, type in the box now and I'll happily expose myself in that manner. So, while you're doing that, let's get back into the next steps then. So what we're going to cover next is this. I'm going to cover the 3 mistakes that are killing off agencies. I'm going to cover the 4-step framework so you can actually apply this in your business. I'm going to show you how to implement it, your own system. Now most of you know me. My name's Andy Whitehead. I help recruitment agencies grow by 2 to 10 times using purely online inbound marketing strategies that work. Some of you might have seen me on the various channels, but I think most of you know me by now. Now what clients say, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have a business. I've been talking to all of my colleagues in different industries and they're just tired of listening to me. Most of them don't even know what I'm talking about. Very few people are even doing this regardless of industry. What we're doing is groundbreaking. Now, if you're saying to yourself, can these strategies really get me 2x to 10x to the clients? Yes, they can. Look at this. We're recording and getting the slides put into a presentation from the webinar. I have a list of 30 people that can't come but want the content. We're looking at potential circa 70 meetings off the back of this. Now, I don't know how long it takes you to get 70 meetings. 70 meetings. How many calls does your business need to make? This was a one-man business when he started. He's now trebled. Well, he's done more than that now. 70 meetings off one strategy. Now, Mike Walmsley, if you go to recruitmenttraining.com, there's my ugly mug in the middle under management training. Recruitmenttraining.com is the biggest portal for online training in the world in recruitment. I know what's in it because I was actually asked to help grow it, and I know what's inside it. Awesome. Mike's an outstanding guy. Mike runs that portal. Mike says it's the most innovative techniques he's ever seen to get candidates and clients without using the phone. Let's say I'm there on the front page of it. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do recruiters try and get new clients? Why do they try and get retained business, exclusivity, and they fail? Well, the last survey we ran was quite horrifying in terms of some of the results. 93% said they were either thinking of quitting, going back to a desk working for the man. So the stress knocks them out. The stress of running their own business and not getting clients in knocks them out. They miss their children. They've even had marital problems. Their wife-husband arguments. Some have been left. It's just unreal what's going on. All this stress because they can't get the business. And ultimately worrying about disappearing. So let me ask you a question. Why do you think so many recruiters struggle to get clients when other people can go out there and bring on 70 new meetings from one strategy? Or someone else can go away and they can pick up 10 clients. Why do you think so many recruiters struggle? Type in the box quickly, let me know. There's too many new kids on the block. Internal recruiters are squeezing us. There's too much to do for me. I'm a one-man business. I wish things could be the way they were 15 years ago. How about 5 years ago? Mark, is that Mark Brown? How are you? How are you doing? What you said, I spend all day commuting. See, unreal. I'm 45. I don't want to miss my kids growing up. Well, this is the thing. Recruiters are doers. You're not failing to get clients because of effort. The fact is, we are probably the hardest working profession in the world. Wouldn't you agree? We are the hardest working profession. Now imagine if you could put that effort into an ROI, actually got something back. But we're not having the inability to get clients is not because of effort. There's a blueprint, there are steps to follow. And the real sad thing is, if you're making outbound calls, if you're not getting clients come to you, you've been set up to fail. And that's because you've been shown a BS way of actually trying to get clients. Sending out emails and then I'm going to phone them a day later. Picking up the phone. I'm going to make 50 calls today. I'm going to send out 10 LinkedIn messages. I'm going to post on my blog. I've been told that works. It's absolute BS. Even going to a job fair, going to networking. God, my heart skips when I hear those horrible words. Now there's 3 signs your model to get new clients is either broken, and that also applies to senior candidates. It's broken or it's slowing you down, but it's going to at some point fail. Now the first sign is this. If your emails or your calls to clients are not getting responses, guess what? You haven't got a process that you can scale. You haven't got a process that's even paying you now. If your emails and calls are not getting responses, you've got a problem. Number 2, if you're looking to find open roles on job boards and you try and reverse engineer who it is, so you go to Monster, you go to whichever job board you go to, you then backtrack the steps, you find out who the client is, and then you contact the client. That role is already in the marketplace. That role's probably got 10 recruiters on it. So you're chasing that poor candidate like everyone else. You're in a contingent space. It's not a healthy place to be. So if you're finding roles on open job boards, that is just a bad place to be. Bad place to be. It's almost unwinnable, and that's going to cause you more stress than anything in terms of actually getting a process that you can scale. You can't scale that way. Next step. If you can relate to this, you've been promised roles. You spoke to a client. You've met a client at an event or something. You've been referred. Yeah, we'll definitely use you. We'll definitely use you. And guess what? You wait. Can you relate to that? And the client says, yeah, we're going to use you. And then you send out a message, just reaching out, just touching base. Do you want to go for coffee? And guess what? Nothing happens. That's not a good place to be. If you can relate to any three of those, your model is broken. Now there is a solution. The solution that your director is going to tell you is really simple, and it's a stressy hit and hope solution, and it's as simple as this: let's make more calls and let's send more emails. That's how we're going to grow. BS. That's what Kodak said. They went under. A digital company went under because it didn't apply digital strategies. Making more calls, sending more emails is not the way you're going to grow. That is just hoping on luck. That is going to give you up and down months. It's going to give you inconsistency. It's going to give you inconsistency. If you can relate to this, a good month, you've got a client, you're trying to find candidates. Bad month. You're trying to find a client. Got a couple of candidates though. Good month. Up and down, up and down, up and down. That is not a good place to be. It's an awful place to be. If you can relate to that, then your business is nothing more than a lottery. Nothing more than a lottery. And that's why most recruiters think, yeah, marketing is what I need. I need a way for clients to come to me. I need a way that I can be front of mind. I need a way that I can have more exposure than my competitors. But it doesn't work. And you're right, most of it fails. But you can turn your lottery, your business, into predictability. And that's where you need to make that shift. Move from a lottery into predictability. So let me ask you a question. You want grade A clients. What's the hardest part for you to get grade A clients? Is it getting past gatekeepers? Is it getting exposure? Is it chasing one-to-one? Just type in the box now quickly. Okay, too much to do. I don't have the time or the systems to get in front of clients and candidates. Not enough time. I spend all day on LinkedIn and Facebook, but I get no response from my messages. Looking to differentiate my brand and my agency. People don't know me. Okay. So it sounds like pretty much lots of you are. You've got a problem getting in front of clients. You haven't got the time to actually be getting in front of clients. You haven't got the time to be doing these things. Too much to do. That's why I need to automate these processes. That's it, Mark. So, there's 3 steps to get an A-player clients coming to you. Grab a pen and paper. Do that now. Grab your pen and paper and do that right now. I'm watching you. Right. So number 1. The first thing is this: to get A-player clients coming to you, you can write all the blogs you want, you can shout and scream about yourself all you want, but to get clients coming to you, you must be the expert they know. And you must be the expert they know and trust above the noise in the market. Above the noise in the market. So you must get above that noise in the marketplace. Now, Andy, to be an expert, I've read it. You got to have 10,000 hours of, I'm going to have to write hundreds and hundreds of pieces of content. No. 10,000 hours to be an expert. You use that maven who's invested 10,000 hours, use that maven to endorse you. Now, why do we do that? The reason is this: that maven is trusted by your client. So we now need to make that maven transfer his trust to you. So for example, some of you never heard of me sort of 4 or 5 years ago, And then I had the biggest trainers in the world in recruitment saying, listen, we train in recruitment, but we don't know how this stuff Andy's doing. We had Mike Walmsley, we had Roy Ripper, we had Mark Stevens, we had Mark Whitby. All these guys saying you need to listen to Andy. We don't train our own clients in this. You need to listen to Andy. No one else does this. Transference of trust. Your clients look up to certain individuals. Those are mavens. If your clients aren't buying from you, 2 reasons: they don't trust you, they're not buyer ready. So what we need to do is make sure you become the expert. So how do we do that? We need to be ensuring that we choose the right maven. The right maven. So let's switch to my iPad. So the first thing is this. We need to make sure we get the maven that your clients know, like, trust, even love. I mean the ones they are almost sycophantic over. The best of the best. We've got a template. So any maven you need, you send that to your mavens. We've had members who've got the training development people, person from United Nations. We've had Barack Obama social media person. We've had members of Parliament. We've had Leo Dryman, the guy who took George Foreman Grills to Wall Street. We've had government people. We've had big names. You can get huge names to be mavens to endorse you, but they must fill 3 criteria. So it's not just pick anyone. There's criteria. And it's called the triple P criteria. First off, the maven you choose must solve a problem for your client. So most of your clients' biggest problem, they're not sitting there thinking, I need a recruiter who can come along and find me really good candidates. That's not their biggest problem. The problem's normally nothing to do with recruitment. Next, your maven must have proof. He must have social proof as a world-class speaker. He must be an expert, and I mean a world-class expert. Someone that your clients look up to. And then the actual topic itself must fulfill a promise. And when you get this sweet spot, that's where the magic happens. So when you choose a maven, it's not just a case of going out and getting someone in the marketplace. If it was, it'd be very simple. There's an actual set of steps you go through. But you want to be focusing on the triple P. The problem must be a problem for your client and a big problem that keeps them awake at night. There must be proof that your maven is world class, and the actual topic must fulfill a promise that's now an acute pain for your client. An acute pain. So the pain is something that exists now, and it's acute. So the promise must fix the problem. When you get the combination of this, you've got something that is so attractive to your clients. I need to attend that. I need to go and watch that. So your clients now come to these webinars, which you're holding a webinar with a world-class speaker. Now your clients don't know you the first time you run it. The first time, they don't know you. They might have 0. The second time they see you, it might go to 30%, because both times there was speaker 1, speaker 2. The third time, well, this guy's now been on with 3 of my biggest, almost my heroes. Fourth time, now they're really trusting you now. Fourth speaker. How on earth is this recruitment company giving away such value with these world-class speakers I look up to for free? How's that working? Now what happens is this: your clients don't trust you. They don't trust you. So we've got what we call the ladder of trust. In fact, just going to delete that. Let's do it down here. So you've got ladder of trust. Zero, 10. So the first time the clients hear from you, you're going to be down here probably. But then you start doing these webinars, and you could do a webinar and talk about yourself or talk about your business, and you might move up a little bit. But when you get world-class speakers, authors endorsing you, you go from 0 up to 5. Next time, up to 8. So your clients now start to trust you. You get a transference of trust from the maven to you. You get this trust transfer happening. And guess what? You haven't done a lot. It's implicit. Now when you combine that with your clients, they're now starting to trust you. You need to have automation in place. And the automation is then going to ensure that your clients, when they're ready, they're going to come to you. So you might approach a client and they're not buyer ready. They don't have budget. They're on holidays. They may be in handover. Someone new owns that part of the business. But they're not buyer ready. So it's like being buyer ready here. Now if you approach a client, which I'm sure you do, once a month, you catch them, they might be down here. Or you might get lucky and they're up here. But you're contacting them once a month. Once per calendar month. So you're just shooting in the dark. Just almost like darts. You're just trying to get lucky. But you're probably going over here. So what you want to do is you want to have a system whereby every single week, probably twice a week, 3 times a week, you're communicating with them. So you're communicating when they're down here, but also when they're up here. Now wouldn't it be useful, rather than contacting them once per month, you're contacting them, say, 5 to 10 times a month, even 20, completely up to you. You decide. We recommend between 5 and 10 times a month, and we've got a sequence you should follow. But then you're going to find them when the buyer ready. Now when you combine that with, you're now trusted. You could approach a client and they're ready to move forward. They got budget, but you're down here and they don't trust you. Doesn't matter when you contact them. If they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. But if you're up here on the ladder of trust, which you get from the mavens, and you combine that with a system where you're front of mind, guess what? You get paid. You get the roles. So that's what we need to be focusing on. So you don't need to be that expert. You get the transference of trust. Now you're thinking, Andy, will clients really come to my webinar? Well, look at this. First of all, top, Barry, well, I'm looking at my LinkedIn profile. I've had 8,518 profile views in 90 days. So 3,000 profile views a month. I'm not sure how many you get. That's unreal. That's because he's been applying the Maven strategy. I'm going to actually take you through the exact pages and the exact setup that Barry uses. If you look at the bottom left hand side, happy days, look at the right, I've got 301. Happy days, look to the right, 301 attendees for my webinar. These are all prospects. These are all new clients. Matt, look at Matt. Just had a target client, HR director from leading fashion retailer, opt into my Maven webinar. They do come to you. Now why do you need this? Well, you need it because it gets clients coming to you. You're not seen as just a recruiter any longer. If you're seen as just another recruiter, you can scream and you can shout about your business all you want. Clients will not come. You need that transference of trust. It's so important. I'd hedge my Maven webinar against you sending out 10,000 emails. I'd win every time because the Maven's going to endorse me. Now number 2, think systems while you sleep. Think systems while you sleep. So we talked about being buyer ready. So you want to make sure that the client contacts you, or you contact the client when they're ready. So we talked about being buyer ready. So when they get budget, they're at a 10. When they haven't, they're down at a 0. There might be somewhere in between. But you want to make sure that you're in front of mind when they are ready to move forward, all the time. You're the first person they call. So how do you do that? Well, if I was in charge of your business, if I was going to show you how to set up your strategy to bring in new clients, we'd be focusing on, in fact, I'm going to change that again. Let me just, I've got a new pen today for my iPad. Exciting stuff when you're when you're into your toys. So if I was in charge of your client leads, if I was in charge of you bringing in clients, what I want to do is focus on big numbers. I want to focus on scale. I want to focus on automation. So really, what I see time and time again from clients is the following. The way they approach their client systems, they're either inconsistent down this end, or they're consistent down that end, or they're very hands off. So it's done for me, or they're very hands on. So these are 4 variables I see time and time again in agencies. Now really, if you're inconsistent and you're hands on, that means you're working hard, but you're still inconsistent, you're still front of mind only maybe once a month or once a week, you're inconsistent, the chances are you're chasing. So the bottom left hand side, you're chasing. The chances are you've got no system. You're just doing this ad hoc, you're doing this manually. So what does that do? It causes you stress. And then that gives you the up and down months, which is not where you want to be. So if you're inconsistent and you're manually hands-on, chasing clients, trying to get in front of clients, you haven't got a system. You're probably stressed. It's up and down. Now if you're hands-on but you're consistent, well, you're still manual because you're hands-on. You're probably reactive because you're consistently trying to, I need to be in front of clients, I need to be sending out some form of material, but it's very reactive because you're dealing with business. So that gives you the good month and it gives you the bad month. Not a good place to be. Now, if you're up here and you're inconsistent and you're hands off, guess what? You don't have a business. You're treating it as a toy. You're not treating it as a business. You're not taking things seriously. If you're hands off, so you haven't got any systems in place, you're not doing it manually, and you're still not in front of clients, and you've still not got lead generation tools up and running, if you're still haven't got those in place, you don't have a business. You've got just pressure. You've got pressure and you've got a pain. And you've definitely got something that's not scalable. That isn't a place to be. That is not a place to be. Now where we want to be is here. We want it to be hands off, so it's done for you. We want to be consistent. So what we want is for you to be front of mind when they're buyer ready, be front of mind to gain that trust and buyer ready. We want to be front of mind so you're building relationships over and over again. In the background, we want to be having incoming leads every single day. And we want to add value. And when you stack all that up, guess what you get? You get integrity. Your clients see you as someone completely different from your competition, and it decreases the time you spend in it. So where you want to be is here. You want to be hands off and you want to be consistent. That's where you want to be. You want to be up here. You want to have automation. You want to have a relationship building. You want to be seen as a leader. You want to have authority. You want to have that trust. So you want to combine being the mavens endorsing you, so you get the ladder of trust. So the mavens endorse you, so the trust element done. And then you want to be front of mind, so when they're buyer ready, guess who's there? You. So that's where we want to be focusing our time. We want to be focusing on building relationships, getting transference of trust, incoming leads. We want to be doing that through the top right hand side. That's where you want to be spending your time. This is where the Holy Grail is. Does that make sense? I'll type in the box. Just let me know if that makes sense. Now the reason why you need it is this. You don't have the time to email or call hundreds, thousands of prospects every time you need to be bringing on new clients. You just don't have the time. And if you do try and do any of those the inconsistent routes, the hands-on routes. It's a one-way route to burnout, stress, failure. It's not a good place to be. So the third thing I want you to do is this. I want you to think about the following. I want you to think about contacting hundreds at a time. Rather than you trying to get 1 or 2 clients in per month, I want you to focus on, let's think big on this. If I'm using a digital system, it doesn't matter if I'm sending out 1 or 500 or 5,000. For me, it happens once. So why wouldn't you think big? So I want you to think hundreds at a time. So if you think about what the Maven strategy is actually going to do for you and using webinars to endorse you, what it looks like is this as a set of steps. Bear me 1 second. So what it looks like is this. Now what you might do at the moment is, I'm not used to this new pen, am I? Let me just change that. If we break this down into sections, let's make it really simple. So at the moment, for you to go out there and actually get clients, you might pick up the phone, you might call, you might send out an email. Now wouldn't it be great if you had a system whereby it automatically brings in thousands of inbound leads to your website, to you every month? So we do that with the content cannon, which is part of the recruitment marketing machine. Now for you to actually bring in and get in front of clients, so to get in front, what you might be doing now is calling and sending emails. What you should have is an automation tool that's bringing thousands of inbound leads to you every single month. And we do that with, let's say, the content cannon. Now if you've got all these leads coming to you, they're coming to you because they're coming to see the Maven, they're coming to see the world-class speaker. They don't know who you are, but they're going to come and see this webinar because we've got a world-class speaker on your marketplace, so they're going to come to you. So what happens next? We need a conversion tool. Now when you convert now, you probably do it on the phone. You probably do that on the phone. So you probably have a conversion tool whereby you speak to clients on the phone. Now that, again, you're doing this one-to-one. Now wouldn't it be great if you had a conversion tool where you do it one and you can speak to hundreds of clients at a time? Now that's what you can do on a webinar. That's what you can do on a Maven webinar. So the Maven and the content cannon are bringing all these leads to you. On the webinar, you're going to speak to hundreds of clients at a time. Now, how do we actually get the sale? How do we actually deliver? Now you might, at the moment, when you do this, you probably get the client by chasing up and you get the sale on the phone. You might do it face to face, but it's one-to-one. Now if you're speaking to 100 clients at a time, of those 100, a percentage are going to say, I want you to find me these roles straight away. They're going to say yes. Another percentage are going to say let's talk. Another percentage are going to go into an automated follow-up process. But if you break down those 100 clients on the phone, you're going to get a percentage saying, can you find me these clients now? So I've really enjoyed the webinars you've been doing with Mike, with Mark, with Tanner. These guys are awesome. The world-class speakers I look up to. I'd love to. Well, that's what they're thinking, obviously. Let's speak. Can you find me the following? Another subset are going to say, send me more information. Another percentage. And those who are not buyer ready yet, because they may not have heard of you before, or they don't have budget, they go into an automated follow-up process. So you've got thousands coming to your conversion tool. They're coming to you. So it changes the dynamic. You're not chasing them, they're coming to you. So these thousands, hundreds, thousands clients and candidates are coming to your conversion tool. On the conversion tool, you hold your webinar to 100 clients. On the back of that, so the Maven speaks for 30 minutes, you host it, and then on the back of that they go through a call to action. Some are going to say, yep, can you find me these clients? Some are going to say, can you send me more information about your agency? I've never heard of you before. And some are going to not be ready at the moment. They're going to an automated follow-up sequence, so you nurture them. And they go back into the process, and they come to the next conversion tool. And after at least the second, third time, they're going to know you. They're going to like you. They're going to trust you. So there's no outbound calls going on. It works extremely well. So what we got is really a process whereby you're now focusing on talking to hundreds of clients at a time, not one. Now, wouldn't it be easier? Like I'm now speaking to hundreds of you. Now, wouldn't that save me an awful lot of time to do this, where I speak to you one at a time? Exactly the same principle. So you need this because clients are receiving messages from firms just like yours every single day. So they're receiving messages from firms just like yours every single day. But when they get a message from you saying, I'm doing this webinar with these world-class speakers who you look up to, they're going to attend. And then when you automate it, and you contact hundreds at a time, what you do is you speak to the 8, 9s and 10s. So those who are saying, can you find me these roles? Obviously you speak to them. Those who said, tell me more about your business, send me this information, you speak to them. Those who are not ready, they're not buy ready, they're 1s to 7s. You go into an automated follow-up sequence. Now, what sort of numbers can you deal with? The content strategy took my traffic from 100 in April to almost 15,000 for May. This is 2015. That's website visitors. Website visitors. Now, I'm not sure how much traffic you get from your website now. I'm not sure what strategies you've got in place whereby you can increase this. This is Ardy, a member of our Inner Circle, by the way. Ardy's a great guy. What you're looking to do is bring as many clients to you as possible without you chasing them. They come to you. It changes the dynamic when they come to you. So let's do this. Let's have a live walkthrough of a real life campaign so you can actually see what it looks like. Remember before I mentioned Barry? Got 301 registrations to his webinar. 301 clients came to his webinar. That's immense. Okay, Mark, no worries. I'm going to check all the questions at the end. For those of you typed in the box, I will answer your questions. Absolutely, no worries. So let's look at what it actually looks like. How do we actually make this happen? So let me bring up my this is Barry's website. BIMREC. So Barry came to us, and in January he identified on our first planning strategy. We got a new area we can work with. There's a new project happening in the UK. So what we did was identify, right, we got someone we can really leverage here. We can take advantage of this and really do well. So what we did, this is the first page. So this is what Barry's first page looks like. So for the webinar, this is where he gets registrations. So this is where clients come to. Clients come to this page. They come to this page to listen to David Fries, the CEO and chair of SEC NSCC from the BIM group. So clients are coming to listen to him. So we've got a template we use on this page. So the clients come to this page, fill out their details. Fill out their details on this page. Come to this page. So say thank you. I'll go to over deliver on the content you asked for within our series of BIM webinars. So this is all text that Barry's got from apart from the swearing Barry. We've got from our templates. So we click on here. So now the client's now registered. They've said, yeah, I want to see this webinar with what was the gentleman's name? I want to see this webinar with David. David's someone to look up to. They come through to this next page. So now they've gone into our database, they've entered their email address, they go into our database. So that client's now on our database. We can now nurture them. Next, I'm going to click on here. So say, continue below to complete the short survey and receive the slides in advance of the webinar. So give them a reason to actually complete a short survey. So click on this, and this is where they come to. So look at the questions. What questions have you got for David on the webinar? What are the biggest challenges you're facing with BIM right now? So that could be whatever niche you're in. It could be within Java, within SAP, within SAS, whatever. What size are your current team? BIMREC enjoy bringing you the best experts. Please list any specific problems or topics you're interested in. Where do you envision needing BIM recruitment experts in the next 3 to 6 months? See what we're doing here? We're basically asking them what needs have they got? What hiring needs have they got? So by holding a Maven webinar, you bring hundreds of clients to your webinar. Clients who don't know you, don't look up to you, but they look up to your Maven. Then they come here. Then they fill out a survey. So we do that using our templates. But this is what happens. What does it actually look like? So even before the webinar, so if you can imagine on the webinar itself, you're actually going to say to them, for more information, do this. If you'd like us to source for you, do this. And I'm actually going to take you through the steps in a second. But even before the webinar, when they complete that survey, these are the sort of responses you get. So you normally get, when you've been through the process, about 50% responses. So if 100 clients come, get 50 clients giving you leads. So look at this. The question up here, also underneath the box, it says, are you looking to hire BIM staff in the next 3 months? If you look at the bottom, yes, not sure, no, yes, no, possibly, yes, not ready, yes, maybe, could be, yes, in UAE, no, highly likely, yes. Look at the times. We've got 5:22 a.m., 6:22, 8:30, and 8:41, 9 a.m. So all those leads at the bottom of the page came in on one day. So would it be easier for you to follow up with clients who've told you that? They've come to you, even before the webinar, to follow up with those leads. So before the webinar, you get these sort of leads. Now on the webinar, you're actually going to tell them, and you're actually going to get them to say to you, what do you want me to source for? Which I'm going to take you through right now. So how much more useful would that be for you in terms of actually getting leads for your clients? They're coming to you. They're telling you what they need. It's awesome. Now you're probably thinking, Andy, it sounds good, but can I really get world-class mavens for free? Can I get world-class speakers for free? Yes, you can. Now, listen to the following. I want you to listen to the following and think and jot down this. How can you get speakers for free? This is from someone who's actually applied this and trebled his business in less than 6 months. Did more business in the first 6 months of the year than he did in the entirety of last year. It's gone from 1 person to 3 people in 6 months. This is the guy who got 70 meetings off one event. One event. So I want you to take note of the following. How to get speakers for free. How it's so much easier than you expect to get speakers for free. The value that it gives your clients and how they respond when you apply the Maven strategy. And how he actually enjoyed recruiting again. But ultimately, how he got 30 clients from the first time he ran it. 30 clients. Now I don't know what your figures are, but I want you to jot down these. So how you get speakers for free, how much easier it is than you expect, the value it brings to your clients, and how you can actually enjoy what you're doing. But ultimately, let's be honest, you want to get paid. So listen to the following. This is from a Inner Circle call.
Didn't feel like sales calls because you were pitching an event, and that now is all we do. We pitch events to clients, and I never even mention the word recruitment until I'm, after the event has happened and I'm face to face with them having a coffee, and then we turn it into, recruitment and when are they next recruiting and would they use us on an exclusive basis. So to try and put some sort of actual quantifiable metrics on it, I think to compare now to before, it sort of isn't fair, because what we were doing before had such less value, and we were doing less of it, that they just weren't getting anywhere near the results, and it was just so less. Which wasn't enjoyable. That's the biggest thing for me. Whereas now, pitching an event, it's strategy. We've got when we're doing it, we know how many calls we're going to be making and when we're going to be doing it, and it's good fun. It's enjoyable, and even if people can't come or don't want to come because it might not be relevant to them, the feedback's always fantastic. Let me know what you do when you're doing the next one. If you ever do an event around X, Y, and Z, please do let me know. So it's just a completely different relationship that we now have, and much more enjoyable. It's great.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, we also had that, the third speaker, the firm that he works for were really umming and ahhing, and I sort of was a bit confused as to why. And then when I just had that conversation finally, it's like getting these people on the phone, it's difficult. But when I had the conversation, they just said, well, we just can't decide how much to pay you. And I was like, well, that's really nice, but there's no need to pay us. It's a sort of a beneficial event for you and for us. You're going to speak at our event, which makes us credible, and you get the opportunity to pitch to a load of potential clients. So once they understood that, they literally bit my arm off. So it was great. And the other thing I was going to say just about that last point as well was my sort of plan for, that was the 6 weeks or 7 weeks, but my plan for the following 12 was, my model is 50 clients that give you 1 job a year rather than 5 clients that give you 50 jobs a year, because I got burned quite badly in the Lehman crash. So that's always been, spread my risk. And this is a really, really good way to facilitate that. And the amount of clients that, one, have given us business, but two, have actually said they'd give us their next exclusive job, and also people that just would like to work with us going forward, is now it's a big number compared to what it was. It's really, really big. I'd probably say almost 30 clients now, whereas before it was literally 3 or 4. And that's, again, through live events and the webinars that we've done. So it's great. Well, actually, the biggest thing for me is that genuine belief and support and guidance to saying, trust me, if you use our techniques, you can get the thought leader around that regulation to speak at your event, which, in December, while I was thinking about making the phone call to you, that was what I was just, there's no way I'd be able to attract someone like that to, my little event with, who would care about it. And that was probably the biggest thing for me, and the strategy you can put in place of ensuring that is actually quite an easy process. So yeah, that was massive for me, and I was literally, I still am a little bit surprised about how easy that was.
So there you go. Yes. Apologies for the the black screen there at the end. But what did you learn from that? We said, got speakers for free. It was easier than he thought it'd be. It gave great value to his clients, and he's actually enjoying recruitment again. But ultimately, 30 clients first time he ran it, and he had 3 or 4 before. So 10x the number of clients for one actual event. So when you do a webinar event, it can literally scale extremely quickly. Now remember the actual process we're dealing with. So we've got the content cannon. So that's where you actually bring you market your event, the Maven markets the event, and they come to you. Next, you filter out the tire kickers from the real players. That's where you get CVs, and that's where we've got the survey complete there. So you've got leads straight away, also added to your database. Then on the Maven webinar itself, you can also get leads direct from the webinar. You can get appointments direct from the webinar. Get sales direct from the webinar. So I want to focus on that bit next. Actually getting live on the webinar, getting clients and getting appointments and actually getting sales. Let's focus on that. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Andy, it sounds good, but this must take ages to do. It must take months to get this set up. It must take months. It doesn't. You can get this from your very first event. Now, Alex just said it took 7 weeks what he did there. So I wanted to get ROI in the first 90 days. Did it in 7 weeks. Probably 50 times. Now, I want you to think about what I just said. Actually getting clients live on the webinar. So take down the following. Why is a webinar different from just emailing your prospects, your clients? Write this down. Next, why are clients more likely to take action and contact you on a Maven webinar? How many clients can get signed up from the very first webinar, and how much was the value of the searches you got from the very first webinar? So I want you to think about this. Why is a webinar different from just emailing or calling your prospects? Why are clients more likely to take action on a webinar? I want you to really think about that. Let's listen to this. This is from Charles. This is from the very first webinar he ran. Very first webinar. And Charles is a guy who's, I think he admit, very old school, not technical, did it straight away. Now listen to the following.
The webinar is very different because the webinar is interactive. While you do have to create a storyboard, what's so good about doing a webinar is you're not alone. One of the things that if not for Andy, I would have done a webinar, but it would have been a useless webinar. It would have been one in which myself and somebody else on my team did all the presentation. But if you're the end user listening to the webinar, or the attendee, you got to think to yourself, yeah, I'm not sure if I believe these guys because there's no other speaker, nobody else validating anything.
Yep. See, that's important. About other people validating you.
The webinar is very different. The end user, because...
Let's pause that a sec. See what Charles said there? If you hold a webinar by yourself up front, there isn't a transference of trust. So you need to be following the triple P that I said before. You need to make sure you've got the right mavens who your clients look up to. It's really important. It validates you and it validates your agency. So really take note of that.
You got to think to yourself, yeah, I'm not sure if I believe these guys because there's no other speaker, nobody else validating anything.
Yep.
So I would have done it the wrong way. So the right way, with having over 100, our max, because of our GoToWebinar is 100.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't want to do any more than that, to be honest with you, the first time out.
Yep.
So while we had more than 100 that registered for attendance, and we got 3 speakers that, well-known speakers. One was a senior VP of a well-known company, and the other 2 were, one was a VP of talent acquisition for a company, and the third was an HR VP.
Awesome. And you picked up a search from that webinar, the first one, didn't you, Charles?
Yes, we picked up a search from that.
And what was that search worth to you?
It was 54K actually.
54K. So let's just recap the results Charles has gone through here. What Charles has done. So that's Charles. And the reason why I'd share that, Charles is a guy who was, he admits, not technical at all, but the very first time we ran it, there were some key lessons that we've referenced. Number 1, it's different from just intruding on your prospect by sending an email or by calling them. You're actually engaging with them. They're taking action because the maven is validating you and your agency. Straight away from his very first one, he bought up 54K. Very first one. Now imagine you actually start to scale this. I want you to see though that even beginners can get this up and running. Both Alex and both Charles is the first time they ran through this. Now we've got members who've 10x their business. That's 10x. So they've gone from 10K to 100 grand a month. That's a month, a one-person company. Because we're using one-to-many strategies. And that's what I want you to think about. It's really focusing on creating systems and creating scale. Now Charles referenced a template. This is one of our templates, and this is a template Charles used. So we got templates for all these things. So when you run a webinar, you don't just hold a webinar with a maven. There's actually a set of steps you go through. There's actually there's certain things you must do on the webinar. But if you can imagine you have a conversation with a client and you're sat across a desk and you have that conversation, that sales conversation, you've got some form of script or way you engage with the client. And with a webinar, after having done hundreds of webinars, we've got exactly the same. And when you apply it, when it works, you're not getting just the one sale, you're getting multiple sales. You're not getting one lead, you're getting multiple leads. Really exciting stuff. So when I said to you before about what Henry Ford said, if they asked me what they wanted, they would have wanted faster horses. If I asked you what you'd want, I want a better script or a way of talking to more clients. No. You don't want to be talking to clients one-to-one. You want a way of talking one-to-many. This is your Henry Ford moment. So let me ask you a question. What have you learned so far? So what did you learn from Charles? What did you learn from Alex? What have you learned from us so far? What did you notice? And what would you like to share? Let's type in the box. Okay, so how is it to get these speakers to speak? As Alex said, extremely easy. I'm not going to lie to you. We've tried and tested this now over many years. We've actually now got a pre-written email template that we send out to mavens, and the lowest response rate we have 25%, the highest is 76%. So that means if you approach 100 mavens, 76 will come back and say, yeah, I'll speak for free. These are the same guys who charge $5,000 to speak at a conference. And it works because, well, we've learned over time. It's if you asked me this 5 years ago, we wouldn't have the same systems in place we did now. But yeah, you need to be focusing on what's in it for them. How much do you have to pay them, Stephanie? Nothing. Never pay a maven. Never. Can we get a copy of the slides? Yeah, Casey, if you hold on to the end, type in the box at the end, Casey, and my system will pick that up. I imagine this will give you a lot of traffic to your website. How do you get that set up? Really simple. On your website, you need to have opt-ins. You need to take them through a funnel. So what most recruitment websites have got is they've got a a job page, they've got a home page, they've got a client page, a candidate page. What you need to have behind the scenes is what we call micro commitment. So if a client comes to the page, you click on a link saying, yeah, I'm looking for ABC. Next stage is you might do a mini survey. Next stage is you take them through a deeper survey. Next stage is you ask them to actually submit their requirements. If you ask them to submit their requirements straight away, they will not do it. It's like asking someone to jump into bed on the first date. One or two will do that, but most won't. So it's the same principle here. So you need to be focusing on micro commitments. So you do that. In fact, one of our members is he's now doing millions a year with that exact strategy, that one inbound strategy. Okay, well, I'm going to come to the rest of the questions at the end. I'm conscious of time, so let's move to the next stage. So what we're looking ultimately for you is this. You want certainty in your business. You want certainty in your life. You don't want to be in a relationship where you're worrying about your wife, your husband leaving you because you've got money problems or whatever problems you've got going on. You don't want to be in a business whereby you're worrying about where your next client's coming from. It's not a good place to be. So that certainty comes by systems. It comes from a systematic approach. If you follow this set of steps, X will happen. If you put 5 units into the system, 20 are going to come out. You all know exactly what you're dealing with. And that certainty comes via systems. Now, the chap I mentioned just now, he came to us, Ken, foreignstaffing.com, real person, real business, doing $8,000 a month, needed clients. Wasn't sure if he's even having a business in the future. Now 100k a month. 100k a month. That happened in less than 6 months. He's now got a business he's looking to grow to 5 to 10 million. So he's created a million plus business in less than half a year because he's focused on becoming a maven. When you apply the maven strategy, you then become a maven. Because so many world-class speakers endorse you and authors and leaders endorse you, you become a maven. Your business grows. So there's 5 key principles to growing your agency. Grab your pen, grab paper, 5 key principles to 2x to 10x your business. Number 1, really important, I want you to drop the old habits. I asked you at the top of the hour, drop the old habits, focus on what Henry Ford said. You don't want a faster horse, you want a car. That's what we're talking about now. Drop the horse, I'm showing you the car. Drop the old habits. Number 2, take the shortcut to be an expert. You can go out there and you can try and write 100 documents yourself or 200 blogs over the next 5 years, kill yourself, or you can take the shortcut. You can get transference of trust. What we've done, it didn't happen straight away. We tried and we failed, we tried, we failed, and we failed many times. But now I've just demonstrated to you part of the process and give you a bit more in a second. When you endorse and you implement the strategy, mavens endorse you. Magic happens. Take the shortcut to being an expert. Number 3, think hundreds. Not all leads are the same. If you pick up the phone, you contact clients, or if you send out emails, you treat every client the same. No. Have a system whereby 500 clients, 1,000 clients come through your funnel, and of those, 10% raise their hands and say, yeah, I'm ready to move now and I trust you. That's who you follow up with. Not all leads are the same. And also, not all leads are going to be ready to move straight away. They may not trust you, so you need to go through a cycle a few times. Or they might not be buyer ready, they might not have budget. So think hundreds, think one to many, think big. Number 4, do this before your competitor does. Do it before your competitor does. There's only so much, so many mavens in the marketplace. Now we created the strategy. And being completely transparent, I learned some of this from a guy called Jay Abraham in America, a guy who charges $25,000 for a weekend. But the actual application and implementation to recruitment is something we created, and we failed many times. But now we've got a process, it's down pat. We've got 100% track record, 100% of getting mavens for clients, 100%. So make sure you do it before your competitor does, because it works in every single niche. The key is you must be in a niche, but do it before your competitor does. Number 5, document the process. When you document the process, you can outsource it, and then you can scale. So you might do the first few webinars, but then what happens is, if you can document the process, an outsourcer, a VA, someone in your business can do it in the background. So every single week or every single month, you've got a Maven webinar happens that grows and grows and grows. And when you run a Maven webinar, guess what happens? You've got 60 minutes of world-class gold from a speaker who normally charges $5,000 to speak at an event. You've got this content. What can you do with it? It's a webinar that you're going to record and go onto YouTube. It's a webinar you're going to strip into an MP3 and put on iTunes. It's a webinar you're going to transcribe and make into articles. It goes on and goes on and it goes on. You've got so much content that will keep pointing back to you. So when someone Googles that Maven's name and they search for that Maven, guess what they find? You. Now here are templates that we use in our inner circle. You should document everything you do. All our clients have these systems, have these tools, have these templates. You must do the same. Then you get the freedom. So what you need to do is think about this. Stop the inconsistency. Stop the good month, the bad month, good month, bad month, good month, bad month, good. And back to bad. You need to stop that inconsistency. So you need to create consistency with the system, with the machine. So what we discussed today is this. If you look at two elements there, we've got the recruitment marketing machines, which we build and work with you on. You work in your business, you work on your business. So today we focused on level 2, just really focused on bringing in your lead funnels, bringing in client leads. But when you go through level 1s, level 2, level 3, get into the automation one-to-many. Then working on the business, it's where you get the scale. You know, you've got a 24/7 lead gen machine. This is where the real growth happens. So what I've shown you today, I'm not going to go into this now, it's just one part of the process. But I want you to realise that if you're serious about building your agency, you need to remove yourself from the process. You need to be creating systems that work when you're away. We call it the jungle test. If you go away on holiday for a month, will your business still run? If you set up systems, it will. If you don't, you're in trouble. So there are 5 principles that you must use to scale your business. Number 1, sounds really simple, but it's the most important. Know your outcome. If I ever speak to you, the first thing I'm going to ask you is this: what is your outcome in 12 months from today? What niche are you in? Who is your client? Who is your candidate? What are your metrics? I want to know what your average fee is and what your revenue is going to be in 12 months. Divide one by the other. We've then got a number of placements we need. I then know the number of candidates you need. I then know the number of clients we need. Then we can reverse engineer the steps. If you don't know what you're moving towards, if you don't know what your business wants to look like in 12 months, you're in trouble. You can't just go through this and meander through it. The strategy is dictated by where you're moving towards. The niche, the client, the candidate, the fees, the number of placements. Next principle, conversion comes first. Conversion comes first. If you run a webinar and then you get one person showing up, it's not converting. If you run a webinar and 100 people show up, it's converting. So you get conversion happening first, then you scale. Then you throw more Mavens at it. Then you throw more traffic at it. And that's where I've seen businesses grow 10 times over in as little as 6 months. Because they focus on conversion, then scale. They're systematic. They got an idea that what they want is an outcome for 12 months. Focus on conversion, then scale. Now when you do this properly, I want you to be creating turnkey systems like McDonald's. You go to McDonald's anywhere in the world, the burger, the Big Mac tastes exactly the same. Why? Because you've got turnkey systems down to the ingredients, the process, the way the staff handle the food, the cook the food. The same with your business. You want a set of steps that work while you're not there. And ultimately your job is to work on the business, not in the business. It's to work on it. And that's where the second 4 boxes come from the recruiter marketing machine. Your job isn't to be making all the calls or to be sending out the emails. Your job is to work on the business and make sure the systems are there to grow it. Now, let me ask you a question. Fork in the road time. Are you going to keep moving down the path of contacting clients one-to-one? Keep doing things in the same fashion that you've always done? Picking up the phone, trying to get referrals, hoping that things will be good this month, working crazy hours? Or are you actually going to step up and think, right, where do I actually want to be in 10 years time, 5 years time, 12 months time, 6 months time, 30 days time? Can you keep on the same treadmill you're on now? So you've got an option of two paths really. You've got to think strategically, which pays off huge, or do you keep running around like an amateur type company and keep chasing your tail? Now, I don't mean to say amateur in a derogatory way. What I mean by that is the way you feel in the business, the way you actually feel when you're getting up early and working late, and the pressure you're feeling. Nowadays, Mavens can endorse you and get clients coming to you. Nowadays, you can speak to hundreds of clients at a time. You don't need to be chasing one to many. But that comes down to you and only you making a decision. No one else can make a decision. If you and I ever speak, I would never want to get on the call with you and you be fluffy and not know and ah and well, I'm not quite sure. You're not serious about your business. You've got options. You move forward with the times, or you keep doing what you've always done. Now, I actually ensure I surround myself with doers and real drivers and action takers, because you cannot be around anything less than that nowadays. It's your business. It's your business. I'm going to be a father very soon. I would not let anything impact my ability to care for my family. You need to be treating this seriously. This isn't some woo-woo 60 minutes together. It's about making a decision. Now, what I want to do with you is share a model. Share a model that from last year we trained over 12,000 recruiters. So we got quite a lot of intel into what really works, what doesn't work in the recruitment space. And I've spoken with an awful lot of recruiters. I've seen firsthand what works. I've seen firsthand the mistakes that are being made. So what I want to do is to take you through what I've seen. Now we deal largely with the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, other elements of Europe, some South America, but there are consistent traits we see time and time again. Time and time again. And we see a consistent model. Things that work and things that do not work. And it's really interesting because when you see this happen, you can almost guess within 5 minutes of speaking to a recruiter where they are and how serious they are. Like I say, if we ever do speak, I'd enjoy that. I really want you to be someone who takes your business seriously. But from what I've seen, there's different elements nowadays in the recruitment space, and there's really 6 different levels that I see recruiters at. Number 1, we've got the startup recruiter. So this is someone who's maybe working on a desk and he's thinking about setting up his own business. You know, he's thinking about it. Why am I getting paid a fraction of the fees? Next is the guy, the girl. She's jumped. I've got massive respect for you. You start up an agency. Huge respect for you. You've taken the bull by the horns. I'm going to do it. Then what we've got is those they've been in business and they've got a handful of clients and they're working like dogs and it's happening. But do you know what? It's really, really tough. But you could call it some form of stability. They're heads above the water. The next phase is where from the outside world we've got what looks like success. We look at them, we think they're doing really well. They're doing really, really well. Little do we know they're working 16-hour days and they're killing themselves and their marriage is falling to pieces. But from the outside world, it looks really successful. Then we've got those who are in scale. Those who've got the money's now flowing in. They've got a better grip on things. It's not right, but they're in more of a place where things are flowing. And then we've got those who are looking for significance. And they've got significance. I don't mean like I'm a big deal. I mean those who can really choose where they spend their time. They can really spend what they do and where they actually spend their time with their family and their workforce. Now what I've seen is this. What it really looks like is, in terms of income, I think those down at the startup, they're earning 0 to 5k a month. Then those in startup agency, they normally work earning 5 to 10k a month maybe. Then we've got those in stability, they're earning 10 to 20k a month. Then those that are in success, generally around 20 to 40k, figures can fluctuate a little bit. Then we've got those at 40 to 80k a month. Then we've got those at 160k plus a month. So those sort of figures we see time and time again. Now for those who actually taken the gambit and actually now own their agency, we've got the second part of the puzzle, which is the amount of time we're putting into it. So what we see is those down here who are on a desk and they're a startup recruiter, they're really doing it in their spare time. Then we've got those who are startup agencies, they're doing it in their part-time, but maybe also into full-time. And for those who are stable, the agencies who are stable and they're actually spending all their time to live and breathe this and make it work, these guys are definitely in full-time. Definitely. But now the success, what I see is this. Those who are, quote, successful, they're working crazy hours, they're in overtime. They've got marital problems, they don't see their kids, stressed. Good months, bad months, but outside world looking in, they must be doing okay, they're getting some really good fees. But they're not actually living the dream. There's a bit of pain underneath it. And for those who are in scale, they got some money. They got the money, but they're still working like a dog. And those who are in significance, they can focus where the time is. They've now got systems and freedom. They've got more free time. Now I don't know where you are on this. It could be you're. Let me just find a nice colour. What we see, it splits like this. We've got three distinct areas. Three distinct areas for recruiters in this area. We've got those in the bottom. And these guys are they're in hunt mode. They're hunting. They're doing everything they can to get their first clients, to get their candidates on board. They're in hunt mode. Tough place to be. But they're doing everything they can to make it happen. Next we got those in build. They've now got no option but to make this work. They have to make this work. They've put their life savings on the line. They need to get it for their kids, for their wife. They have to make it work. They're in build mode. And we've got these guys who are in flow. So the money's in. They might not quite be in a really good state, but if they send out an email, if they send out an invite to a webinar, they're going to fill it up. They've got the systems in place. If they set up an event with a Maven, they know they're going to fill it out. They know they're going to get clients come to them after that webinar. They've got the ability to scale. Those in build mode down here, these guys are pretty exhausted. They're shattered. They haven't got much time with their families. And those down here in hunt mode, they're looking for their first clients. So I don't know where you are on the scale, but there's really three key areas we focus on. Three key areas. And ultimately, what we're looking at is this. I don't know where you are, but if you're definitely in the top four, stability, success, scale, significance, the next couple of minutes might be of use to you. If you're in the bottom two, it may be, it may not. It will depend on you. Now, I don't know where you are. You might be in hunt mode, looking to get into build. You might be in a startup agency looking to get stable. You might have quote stability. You might be on doing 10, 20k a month and you're looking to get to 40, 80k a month. It could be you're on 40k a month, but you want to be getting to 80k a month and you want to have systems in place to automate and grow. It could be you want to set up automation right from the get-go. So it might be relevant to you, it might not. I don't know where you are, but depending on where you are on that scale. In fact, let me ask you a question. Type in the box quickly. Where are you on that scale? Where are you on that scale of moving from Startup to startup agency, from stability into success. Just let me know. Type in the box now. Steve, like it. So if you're in stable mode, you're looking to get in success mode. So you might be doing 10, 20k a month, you'll be hitting 20, 40k a month. So that you're in build then, Steve. You're in build mode. That's where you are. So you're in the build mode. Mark, you're definitely in hunter mode. If you're in starter mode and you haven't got your first client, you're in startup agency mode. You're looking to get stable. Now I don't know where you are, but what I want to do is focus on 3 key things. I want to focus on number 1, you becoming the expert, because that's absolutely key. The Mavens give you that expert status. Expert status. I want to focus on 3 things. Number 1, you going from being a no one to being an expert. Next, I want to focus on going from one-to-one to you speaking to hundreds of clients at a time. And next, I want to focus on you using the phone and calling to you getting inbound. Clients come to you. That's where you should be focusing. Now, if you're definitely in stability, success, scale, significance, but you're looking to move up a level, and if you're looking to go from being a no one to an expert, from one-to-one to getting hundreds of client leads at a time, or being in front of clients at a time anyway, and then getting leads from there, or moving from the call to inbound systems, then the next step is to have a quick 10-minute chat. A quick 10-minute chat just to work out really if or how you can apply these in your business. So you've got really 2 options, the slow way or the fast way. It's really that simple, the slow way or the fast way. Now you've got to decide how you're going to do this. So I don't know how you're going to move forward now. You really need to work out how quickly you want to move forward and what the key drivers are for you. But what I want you to really think about is the next step is to jump on a 10-minute call to really to work out if or how it can work for you. If it works out that these strategies can work for you, then what we'll do is we'll jump into a 45-minute strategy call, and then I'll dig in deep and I'll actually lay out the strategies you should be applying. But the first thing we want to do is have a 10-minute call, a 10-minute fast fact-finding call, and that's really just to work out where you are now, identify what your roadblocks are, and I'll be really transparent with you and tell you, listen, this isn't going to work for you for whatever reason. But if it can work for you, I'll tell you exactly what you should do. I'll give you the next steps. But as I say, we're not right for everyone. These strategies are not right for everyone. So if you are in startup recruiter mode, it might not be for you. If you're not one who actually look at one-to-many or focus on you becoming the expert, it might not be for you. If it is for you, and you want to have a 10-minute chat, and I can then just quickly assess your business and see where you are now, and see what the best thing to do, have a 10-minute get acquainted call. Now I want to be respectful of your time and be respectful of my time, so I don't want to waste your time. So if after the call I think there are strategies that can be applied, my assistant will reach out to you and she'll schedule a 45-minute strategy call. That will be at no cost. The 10-minute call will be at no cost. But I say I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you to waste my time. So if you go to rmi.acuityscheduling.com, and then if you fill out there's a quick set of questions there for you. So if you go there and if you, number 1, make sure you choose the right time zone for you. Number 2, select the first option. And number 3, select your time. Make sure you choose your time zone. We'll jump on that 10-minute call. Then what we're going to do is have a planning session. So the first thing I want to do is really see what your agency looks like now. I want to see what's happening in your agency now. Next, I want to see where you are today, and this is where I want you to be transparent with me. So when you book your appointment in, there's a set of questions for you. The more information you give me, the more I can come to the call prepared. If you fill out one-line answers, I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to give you my time. If you're not serious about giving me serious information about where your business is and how you can apply these strategies, then I'm not going to waste my time on that call, and I'm not going to waste your time either. But if you give me information and really tell me where you are now, no one else is going to see this. It's 100% confidential. So tell me where you are now and tell me what the roadblocks are. What we'll then do is map specific strategies to your specific situation. And on that call, what we're going to do is this. On the 10-minute call, we're going to really have a fact-finding audit, find out where you are now, find out what's really stopping you, find out what can be achieved by moving forward and really applying strategies. But it's really getting to grips on where you are now. So I don't want it dressed up. I want you to drop the mask and tell me where you are. Now on the 45-minute call, on the strategy call, I'm going to lay out the tracks. I'm going to give you the step-by-step system, step-by-step implementation. So even if I think, do you know what, we're not a fit and there's no way that I can help you, what I'm going to do is give you the very next steps you need to take. I'm going to give you the very next steps. I'm also going to give you some documents and planning things you can take away and use to really model. So the more information you give me when you go to the call now, put the call now, and by the way, technical people on the call, could you please put a button below the webinar if there isn't one there already, so the guys on the call can just click on that and go straight through to the page. I think you might have done it already, but I can't see from here. So the more information you give me, the more I can help you. Then what I'm also going to do is this. I'm going to give you a fast action plan. I'm going to give you a client CV and certainty report. It really shows you how to attract, convert and automate your business, automate your agency to get more clients and candidates. Now, what you're going to get after that 10-minute call, if we get on that 10-minute call and we have a 10-minute session and we think, do you know what, you've got a really good niche, you've got a really good idea about what you're looking to achieve, you've been really honest about what's stopping you, I think there's a way you could really move things forward. What I'm going to do is following. I'm going to send you a fast action recruitment marketing plan. I'm going to send you the ignition report, tell you what it's like to have an agency, a business that runs using this. I'm going to send you a 20-minute strategy video. And then we're going to have a one-to-one strategy call where we map out the specific strategies to your specific situation. So we're going to do that on the 45-minute call. The 10-minute call will happen first. So 10-minute call is completely just a really quick in and out. Take 10 minutes of your time. I just want to see where you are and just understand about your marketplace and what's holding you back. Strategy call, I'm going to give you the tracks. So I'm conscious of time. I'm going way overboard. So let's do this. Any questions you got, type in the box now and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm conscious I'm way over time. Thank you so much for your feedback and your engagement so far. Let me go to the chat box and see where what questions we got. So you type in the box now. Let me answer as many as I can in the next few minutes. Okay, so do you recommend using multiple social media channels to get mavens? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Stephanie. To get mavens, you identify them. So the first thing we do is we use the likes of we use tools like Technorati, Alexa to identify the highest traffic blogs, websites in the world, Amazon to identify the biggest selling books, etc. Then we choose our mavens from there. So we literally go for world-class speakers. So we've had members of Parliament, we've had United Nations people, we've had speakers, conference speakers. We've had all sorts of people, huge names. I expect you to get world-class speakers for free. Got 100% track record. So you don't have to use social media to get them. You can reach out to them, but the first step is identifying them. What's important is your clients and candidates must look up to them and respect them. So when we start putting out your webinars and we say that you're doing a webinar, Stephanie's doing a webinar with Brad Pitt, your clients go, Brad Pitt, I look up to Brad Pitt, I need to come and listen to that. Then you do another webinar with George Clooney. God, I love George Clooney. I never heard George Clooney in the webinar. And then they see that happen 2 or 3 times. Guess what? They start to see you to be synonymous with these sorts of people. You get a transference of trust. So you reach out. We've actually got a template you can download, literally copy and paste, change the keywords to get that. Okay. How long does it take to differentiate from competitors, Stephen? Your first webinar, there's no reason why this shouldn't be up and running within the first 2 weeks. Barry, the guy before, did his first webinar on January 29th. Middle of March, he had 18 clients. Now, the last webinar I did, he had 301 registrations, which are client prospects signed up for. And that was after about 4 months. So the first one was so January 29th, 6 weeks, he had 18 new clients, 18 clients, moves really quickly. The key thing is, once you hit go, if you do one webinar and then you wait 6 months, it's like getting an email from someone once 6 months or seeing someone once every 6 months. You need to be front of mind. That's why we need to combine the automation, we need to combine the front of mind, and that's why we want to make sure you use automation, the Maven strategy, and also inbound. So it all links together. Does this work in every sector, Tom? The key thing is, short answer is yes. We've never come across a niche where it doesn't work. The key thing is you must be in a niche. So if you come to me and say, Andy, my marketplace is hundreds of different niches, and we cover hundreds of different roles in hundreds of different countries, it's just me doing it. It'd be pretty difficult to find a Maven that influences your entire marketplace. But what I normally find is on a planning call with someone, if they say we work in 20 different niches, after the planning call we actually identify there's a primary set of 3 to 5 niches we can focus on. But yeah, you want to make sure that you've got some priority around that, okay? Do you do other things that help me with your website? It's been the same for 7 years. We can show you how to have a website built, a world-class website built for $200, and if you've got it built in the UK, it probably costs you about £5,000. So yes, we can show you how to do that. We don't do it ourselves, but we've got a Rolodex of systems, steps, templates, and people to do it for next to nothing. Yeah. So nowadays, about $200 for a website that in the UK probably costs you $5,000, which is about $8,000. Is this all I need for my marketing? If you follow the Maven strategy, it will be a key component of you getting clients. With Barry, it's the only thing he's done. Other members have used the content cannon as the only thing they've done. Other members have mixed different strategies together. It completely depends on your situation. So there isn't a one size fits all. That's why we must have a one-to-one session, so I know exactly where you are. If it was a case of just following these steps, then what we do is show you by a video course as such. So we've got video trainings out there. For example, with LinkedIn, we've got a video course that's sold to thousands of clients around the world. Been responsible for millions of dollars of clients and candidates, and it's a video course because there's certain things you must do. With this, your agency's in a different place from, say, Jess or Jeff or Steve, etc. So it depends on where you are. So there'll be different components you use for different parts of your agency. Okay, let me see then. Conscious of time, we're going to wrap up. All the other questions coming in. Do you take on one-man agencies, Reg? Yes, we do. Probably half the agencies come to us are one-man agencies. Can we get the templates you showed us earlier, Federico? No, Federico, they're for our Inner Circle members, but I recommend you document what you do. If you want me to share the how, happily jump on a one-to-one with you and talk you through the how, but I'm not going to share them across the internet. They're purely for our Inner Circle members. Which webinar system do you recommend? Go to webinars, the key one. It's free for 30 days. We take someone who's a startup. John, potentially. Fill out the questions and I'll let you know. Definitely comes back down to where you are and what your outcome is, and really what your seriousness is in terms of moving forward and getting that focus. This works for any niche, but let's be blunt about this. There's a lot of BS in recruitment, and a lot of people are full of BS. And it's like the New Year's Eve syndrome. This year I'm going to achieve the following, and guess what? They've done absolutely nothing 6 months later. So it comes down to where you got the strategies and systems. You need to follow the steps. Do I need to complete all the questions, Paul? Yes, you do, and give me as much information as possible. If you give me a one-line answer, I'm probably not going to speak to you because I'm giving away an awful lot of content on the. Basically, I'm going to give you 45 minutes to an hour of my time for free. So I'm going to give you an awful lot of information. If you're not going to be serious about actually telling me what you need help with and where you really are, if you're not going to be serious and open, then I'm not going to share my time with you. So it's definitely, I need to know where you are, I need to know what you need help with, and I'll give you strategies on a 45-minute call for free. But if you're going to give me a one-line answer, you're not serious, so I'm not going to give you my time. So I am going to give up that time for those who are serious about their agency, and I'll happily do it for free. But you need to be giving me truth about where you are. There's no point coming on the call telling me that everything's fine with the mask on. In that case, you don't need my help for those 60 minutes. Is it really that easy to get speakers, Morgan? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is that easy. We got a 100% track record. 100% track record. I actually guarantee it. I actually guarantee it works. listen, I'm conscious of time. What I'm going to do is this. There's lots of questions still coming in. Let's do this. Any additional questions you've got, schedule the call, and in the boxes, in one of the boxes, just write questions for me, so I know the questions you've got for me. Okay. So any other further questions you've got, type in. Go to rmrcurityscheduling.com, schedule in your call. Remember to choose your time zone. Schedule in the call. Any questions you've got for me, I'll make sure your questions are answered. Okay. So do that on the page. I just want to be respectful of time. I'm going way overboard. But I'll make sure I answer your questions one-to-one, and I will get back to you. So let me just see. You can see we got well, we've got a lot. We've got Mark, Chris, Tom, Megan, Steve, we've got Jeff, we've got Jess, we've got Harry, Sue, Phil, Todd, Angel, Craig. Awesome stuff. Look forward to speaking to you guys. So listen, we haven't got that many spaces there. So if you want that call, you want that strategy call. If you want the books, the documents, if you want the fast action plan, if you want the ignition document, the report, if you want the video, if you want to walk through the actual plan, work for a report, get the video, you have the one-to-one strategy call, and really lay out the tracks. Schedule in your call now. The first one will be just a 10-minute, absolutely free, really easy going, but very direct, fast audit, fact-finding call. Let's find out what's going on. Then, if I think your business can actually grow, and I mean grow big, then we'll jump on a 45-minute strategy call. Both are free, Steve. Both are free, absolutely. But all I ask is this: if you're going to actually fill out those questions, please do not give me a one-liner, because I'll politely decline the appointment. I can't come to the call with just a one-liner. Okay. So listen, I'm going to wrap up the call. It's been awesome engagement from you all today. I've had a packed house. I've really enjoyed it. What I'm going to do is make sure I check who's signed up. I'm going to look forward to speaking to you in the next week or so. Steve, the link should work. Let me just double check. rmi.curityscheduling.com. Yeah, there we go. So if you choose your time zone, so I'm in London, wherever you are, set time zone and select your date. Okay, really simple. So there you go. It does work. rmi.curityscheduling.com, or select the button below and get on board with that. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up the call. Really enjoyed today's call with you all. It's been really good fun. Really enjoyed the engagement. If you want more clients, and also if you want more candidates, let me know in the questions what you need. Let me know what you tried. Let me know what's holding you back. Let's jump on the call. Let's knock it out in the park, and let's get you really clear on what your plan is, and let's really get your steps laid out. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up the call. Speak soon, everybody. Take care. And again, thank you for your engagement. Take care. Bye-bye.